Day after it was announced that MPs will see their pay rise by 2.3%, the government has imposed a lower pay settlement on some public sector workers. Senior civil servants, judges and top NHS managers will get 1.5%, lower than was recommended by the independent pay review body. The armed services will, however, get more. Our political correspondent Carol Walker is at Westminster now. Carol.
Yes, Fiona, well, the message from the Prime Minister is that the top officials running our public services need to show restraint in our current economic crisis. So he's rejected many of the recommendations of their pay review bodies, leaving many top staff with much less than they'd expected.
The Prime Minister wants to cut the costs of running our public services. So top Whitehall officials, senior NHS managers and judges will get a pay rise of just 1.5% this year.
This is just about people at the top of public life setting an example and actually joining in this sort of wider job that we've got to do, which is about making sure that every penny of public spending goes to where it's really needed.
Across Whitehall, there'll be no bonuses, cuts in early retirement deals, and the government appears to be unpicking a 3-year pay deal.
We're very disappointed. It's gratuitous gesture politics. The amount of money saved is very small, but it will be a slap in the face for senior civil servants who are working extremely hard to support ministers.
Senior officers in the military will get the full 2.8% recommended, a recognition of the challenges they face. Many in the private sector are facing much tougher times. Workers at Honda's Swindon factory have been offered voluntary redundancy or a pay cut.
Inflation's now zero, and if you compare it to the private sector where pay is actually now falling, I think 1.5% actually seems quite good. So I think it would have been fair if there to have been a freeze, and I think the businesses who are struggling to get by in this downturn actually would have expected a tighter settlement than we've seen today.
The latest awards will only increase resentment at the pay rise for MPs, more than 2.3%. This at a time of rising anger over their expenses. A review into the whole issue by the Committee on Standards in Public Life has been brought forward. The latest figures show the total amount MPs claimed in expenses and allowances was £93 million last year. That's an average of more than £144,000 for each MP on top of their salaries. Senior civil servants, NHS staff and judges are bound to be disappointed, but may simply have to accept that in the current climate they'll have to tighten their belts.
The simple fact is that the recession means that there's less money available for public spending, and it's much easier for ministers to make the case for cutting administration costs than it is for them to cut frontline services. Fiona.
Carol Walker at Westminster, thank you. 6 years after the war began, after the deaths of 179 British service personnel, the